Welcome to Wednesday's night, September the 18th, homework help for Henderson and Bailey. If we look down at number 1, which fractions between 1.5 and 1 2/3? The problem with this is we can't change it to decimal only because of the 2/3. Remember, thirds keep going and going and going. 2/3 is 0.6666. It goes on and on. Well, since that goes on and on and on, I can't change it to a decimal. Okay, so we're going to have to leave them as fractions. Well, we have denominators of 2 and 3 in the problem. But our answer choices have a denominator of 12, has an answer choice of 4, denominator of 6, and denominator of 3. Now, the good thing about STAR tests or any test that's multiple choice is there's always one answer that doesn't belong at all. Well, if you look at the problem, we have 1 holes in that. So they all have 1 holes. There's one answer choice that doesn't even have a hole, and that would be answer choice B. There is no hole there, so the answer cannot be B at all. So we have no work to do for B. Well, when looking at the denominators 2, 3, 12, 6, and 3, the biggest number is 12. 2 can go into 12 evenly. 3 can go into 12 evenly. 6 go into 12 evenly. So can 3. So what I want to do is set a common denominator of 12. Another thing I tell my kids is if the whole numbers are all the same, you don't have to focus on them anymore. You can pretend those whole numbers are not there at all. So all we're worried about is the fractions. Since the whole numbers are the same, we don't have to look at them. So I got to change my problem first. I'm looking at a line segment, and in this line segment, the first number starts out with 1/2. And the second part of the segment is 2/3. So what we've discussed is we got to have them the same. So I want to make them to a common denominator of 12. Well, how many times can 2 go into 12? 6 times. Remember, that's called your scale factor. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do where? To the top. So 1 times 6 is 6. So now we're looking at 6/12 compared to this equivalent fraction here with 12 on the bottom. We're reading this to 12 4 times. So it has a scale factor of 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8/12. Since the bottom numbers are the same now, all I have to focus on is my top. I want a numerator that is between 6 and 8. Now, before I change C and D to a common factor, there's already one that's 12s. Can 7/12 fit in between? Since it can, I don't have to do the work for it. That's thinking smarter, not harder, by eliminating your answer choices first and focusing on the problem first before changing just everything just to change problems. So my answer is A, 7/12. Okay, looking at problem 10, Belinda owns a candy store and decides to put all her fudge on sale. All of the fudge in her store is 88 cents per pound. Chris purchases 0.5 pounds of fudge. How much will Belinda charge him before tax? Well, we need to go ahead and set up our story. Our story is about fudge. Okay, I've set up my story bar so I can help me focus on what operation we need to do. So let's go back to the story. The story is about fudge, and what we have is all the fudge in her store is on sale for 88 cents per pound. So the story is about pounds. It says Chris purchases 0.5 pounds. Well, if Chris purchased a whole pound, that 1 pound would be 88 cents. Although Chris didn't purchase the whole pound, he only purchased 0.5 pounds. So he actually purchased only half. 0.5 is the same thing as a half. So the question's wanting to know, how much is half the pound going to cost? I don't want the total, but how much Chris is responsible for. So this is going to be division. Now the keyword of does mean we're going to multiply. And usually you think of multiplying numbers getting bigger. But since I'm not multiplying by a whole number, I'm multiplying by part of a number. I'm not taking the whole 88 cents, but I'm taking part of the 88 cents. It's actually going to get smaller. So if I set that up to do it as a multiplication, I'm going to have 0.88 times 0.5. 5 times 8 is 40. Put my 0, carry my 4. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 4 is 44. And then I have to count the places in the problem I have that many in my answer for the decimal. 1, 2, 3. So I should have 3. 1, 2, 3. So the answer would be 44 cents again. So you could do it, math, there's more than one way. The reason why we were able to divide here is because 0.5 as a fraction is equal to 1 out of 2. So that's why we were able to take half of the 88 to figure out that it was going to be 44 cents. But of meaning to multiply, but I'm taking part of the 88. So again, the 88 is going to get smaller. This was tonight's homework help, and I'll see you again for next week.